Yeah, I mean, if you don't love it, you're either crazy or you love it, right? Or you love it so much that you're crazy. Yeah, a little bit of both. So, yeah, I think I'm a little bit of both, man. 21 years, I think I've dedicated, my life to the plant. My name is Serge. We're at Fiore in Adelanto. I was born in Lebanon, Beirut. I pretty much came to America when I was 1.5 years old. Lebanon's a third world country. It's a beautiful place right off the Mediterranean. But there is a lot of war and, a lot of conflict in the area. Throughout school, like high school over here, I was selling bud, scaling up, went from having a little plant in my desk to a closet. From there, it went to, renting a house and, blowing out the garage, to multiple houses, like fully gutted out and just growing inside the house. Eventually started doing like commercial properties. That was like Prop 215 era. My brother and I would go up to Southern Humboldt to Garberville and pick up cannabis and just bring it back to LA and pretty much serve the 215 shops. I was like 18 or 19. I met Mike back in 2008. He was going up to Garberville and running some product down for my cousin who had a shop in the valley. While me and my brother were going back and forth too, we'd pretty much hit up Mike and get the conditions on the road when the feds were in town, and if it was hot, we'd just tip each other off on road conditions and all that. And eventually, like a year later, he stopped working with my cousin and he came on board with us. And then 2 years later, we brought him on as a partner at our San Diego dispensary. It was called San Diego Organic. It was a sister shop to the one we had in the valley. And we were around for about a year, but the city pulled some shady shit. They gave us a license and then the zoning department wouldn't approve their part of it. And we operated for about a good 8 months without any permits and stuff until we got a letter from the DEA threatening our landlord, so we just shut it down. We were already in the process of our second case at our Sunland shop, so we already didn't have the finances for another legal battle, especially like involving the feds this time. So we just shut that shop down and just walked away. Losses that we took were, back-to-back house raids, blew out a transformer, the main line coming from the power pole to the house caught on fire one time, and the very next day we got the door kicked in to the ranch, and they pretty much found the grow, came back with warrants for arrest. And we were obviously not living at that trap house, but that definitely set us back to square one financially. My brother ended up getting some jail time. My partner Mike ended up getting a month in county, and I took 5 years probation. Set us back. We couldn't really be out there, build a brand and all that. We had to stay under the radar. So while everybody was doing their thing in the 215 era, we kind of had to do it low pro, no brand building. And I've had, a lot of times that, I've contemplated quitting, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade it for anything. 21 years of dealing with the plant and, being in the business one way or another, from, selling weed in high school to big business, in the rec market. You learn a lot, so costly mistakes you don't want repeated, whether it's with the plant or anything in business in general. So the weed game will teach you patience, whether you want to learn it or not. So, sometimes, you'll get to the finish line and you'll make a mistake and you'll have to start right back, square one. And nowadays, there's a business end of things too. So you gotta know what you're doing with the plant. You gotta know what you're doing on the business side of things. So yeah, at Fiore, everything that we grow over here or under the brand is grown with Athena. They're, they got a lot of product knowledge. They do a lot of research and development themselves. you know, they're hands-on at huge facilities, so the feedback and the data that they're getting, that they're giving us, is useful, because it's just not like, you know, we're doing trial and error and that's all costly. You know, it helps getting all that feedback from the Athena team. Yeah, I mean, you know, growing up working for other people and busting my ass and maybe not getting the recognition for the work I put in, you know, people not acknowledging the work that I put in, kind of like, you know, might have rubbed me the wrong way. So I try to be mindful of that, and I always, you know, take into account all the hard work that each and every individual that works at our facility puts in, and make sure they know that, you know, the hard work that they're putting in is seen and we acknowledge it. So you got to take care of your team.